G'day guys, here we are. It's Chris at the Derwent Valley School of Creative Woodwork, and today we're following on from the lesson we did last week about setting up your own small workshop. And one of the cornerstones of your workshop is of course your workbench. In front of you here today we have one of the 6 benches that was built for the Derwent Valley School of Creative Woodwork, and the actual plans were taken from the anniversary magazine from the Woodwork, the Woodsmith magazine. I found this to be a wonderful magazine. The images, the descriptors, the banners across the bottom explaining the steps. I've found that over the years a lot of my work has been sort of a response to the material, and you tend to go with what you see, and it's been a bit loose and free and fairly creative, and there are times when it's just lovely to follow some excellent plans. And I strongly recommend this magazine, the Woodsmith magazine. And on the front of this really tacky looking cover that we've got now, this has been modified. The benches are shorter, the configuration of the drawers is a bit different, because I wanted to squeeze 6 into this space for the classes. But the skills and the processes throughout this project were both challenging and very interesting, and I found the plans were flawless. So hats off to the guys who are producing those. In front of us now I've got a beautiful piece of spalted poplar, which isn't a timber that you would normally find at Bunnings or Mackay's or some of our commercial outlets. This has been cut on the mill, and it pretty much sat on the top of the racks, and it became quite weathered and damaged. It had some rather large knots, which we were able to then think, well, what's the possibility? We don't want to waste that material. And when we started to put it over the surface planer and through the thicknesser, we found it had this quite magical colour. So shortly we're about to put a Feast and Watson wipe on poly, and we'll put a couple of coats on that, and I think that's just a marvellous quick finish which will give us a very durable result and a really lovely lustre, and will bring out some of the colour in this coat rack. The cost of this coat rack, I deliberately didn't want to go to too much expense. We've used polyurethane resin rather than epoxy. The polyurethane tends to come with some smells and some odours, but with a little bit of colour. It's not quite as clear as the more expensive glass resin, but it's more than serviceable for being able to produce just a really nice coat rack. And on the back of it you can see where the polyurethane has come through, and the front of it's been more highly polished, and I've just put this hardware on top. This is always such a humbling experience. I've found that I break a drill, drilling into the resin. One screw didn't quite go in as far as I was hoping it would, and started to spin. So I had to take a really deep breath and just remember some of those fundamentals. Just slow down, be organised, have the tooling in front of you, enjoy the process, and just quietly and steadily work methodically through the process. But I'm now going to put on a glove and put a little bit of this Feast and Watson, and we're going to apply a little bit of this wipe on polyurethane. So I'll quickly wipe some on, and then I'll hold this up and we'll apply a coating of this. This particular product was highly recommended to me last weekend. It's been sanded back to 240. Let that soak in. That's a little better. And now we're starting to get some of that beautiful sculpting. Would be nice behind me. I've had a nice chunk of material, and we'll work our way down the board. This is an excellent project. I can strongly encourage people who don't have a background and are looking to start. This is a very creative way to start. You use the surface planer, which is a lovely thing to use, a very high quality Powermatic machine. We thickness the material. We've used the mechanical sanders. Then we fill the voids or the holes using in this case, a polyurethane resin. I do have some rather lovely colours, so they could have been burnt orange, yellows, reds, a variety of different colours. To date on this project, it's probably $35 to $40 for the board. The hooks were $7 each. A bottle of the finish was $33, but that would last for quite a large number of projects. I'm just going to come to the front of the bench and apply a liberal coating of wipe on. It takes 2 hours before it's touch dry, and you can reapply within 6 hours. Now I still need to fasten this to the wall, so it will need a couple of fastening points, and probably, I suspect, at least 2 coats. And that black contrasting spalted colouring against the creams and those lovely tan sort of colours. It's a magnificent array of colours in what was a board that would have been very dark, rich, quite unusual in its coloration. Just some on the edge. Now that's coat number 1. It's a nice liberal coat. There goes my Aussie dry. So here we have a coat rack that's been made from spalted poplar, quite an unusual material. It's been a lovely introduction to the foundation skills using some basic and static machinery. Most people love to start with a raw piece of material, push it over a machine, have a look at that beautiful grain, texture, colour, patterns. A bit like eating a meat pie. You really don't know what you've got until you remove that first cut on the machine, put it through the thicknesser, and then filling the voids with resin, sanding it through coarse, medium and fine,